Hello, welcome to Gunnar Weisskamp's Web Development. Lesson 11, MVC, Client and Server-Side Validation. So today's lesson looks at how we can add server-side and client-side validation. To those new to these sort of subjects, server-side validation is what happens in the C# code in the back end of the program. That's on the server, so that validation is on the server. Client-side validation is done in the browser in the HTML side of the client's application. So both can be beneficial, and if both processes can be running in the same app, even better. And MVC allows us to do that quite easily. If you want to create today's application, I've got here Visual Studio 2013. So go to File, New Project, and then make sure these settings are set. You want to have that done. And then we want an empty MVC application. Okay, so let's go into Visual Studio. Let's add a controller. Simply an empty one. Let's name it Home. Let's add in our code. Let's add a model in. We will call it person model. Let's grab the code for that. Now you can see this required is currently not playing along. That's a data annotation. We have to add in the correct namespace for that. Using system, which resides in the component model.data annotations area. So there he is, quite fun now. And so today's applications, when we're talking about client and server-side validation, this is going to be a guy that is going to cause an invalid form. If you do not enter a correct full name, the form will be invalid. So sorry, if you do not enter a full name at all, the form will be invalid. And so both of that scenario should trigger the server-side and the client-side validation. So I just thought I'd bring that up while we were in that part of the code. Now that we've got our model there, let's build our application. So while that's building, let's talk a little bit about server-side validation. This is our server-side validation here. It's quite straightforward stuff, really. Oh, it didn't build. Why? Because I did not bring in my model, of course. So that's better. Build. So going back to here, this is our server-side validation area here. What this does, this checks here if the form put into our post action was valid, and if not, it'll return the error message here in that view area. So this takes in MVC complete care of server-side validation. Right, so it's built fine. Let's add in our view. We need a model. That's going to be great. We're going to need a model for that as well, which is going to be our models, our person model. Yeah, why not? Add. So while that's doing that, let's grab the code for that area. Okay, there we go. It's gonna let me. Okay. I'm in the right window. Oh yeah, okay, right. Right, now let's put in our code here. We have to bring in our model. Right, there he is. Let's comment these scripts out. This one we don't actually need. Let's comment these out. Let us now add our thank you view as well. This is going to be empty. We don't need any models for that, so it's straightforward. Let's grab the code for that. There it is. Let's put that in. Right, that's our thank you done. We can close him down. We don't really need to view that one. Next, and one of the last processes, we need to inject the client-side libraries. So what you do here is you go into manage new get packages. Whoa. Now I've already installed the packages we need here. So the ones you need to install is this guy here, jQuery validation here, and the jQuery library here. To summarize it up as a picture, these are the three libraries that you'll need to install, and you simply and to do that you simply go in here, get those libraries, and then install them. So you can already see here he's already installed. You do the same process, but then obviously you just press install, and once they're all installed, you will get, they will all download here into your scripts folder. As you can see, I've already done that here in mine. So we've got here these jQuery validates, which correspond to these files here. Now, yes, so hold on. So now we've got everything installed, everything we need to make everything go. I'm going to build the application because it might take some time to build. Currently, oops, I should have put a breakpoint in here as well. So I want to, we're going to demonstrate the server-side validation first, because we do not have client-side validation turned on, because those jQuery files that you saw in here were commented out. So now when we do not enter a full name, the application should go into this area and return an error, because as mentioned we do not have client-side validation turned on yet. Another thing to discuss while that's building is people can actually have JavaScript turned off in their browser, which I'm demonstrating here. So you can turn JavaScript, ooh, it's coming up fast. You can turn JavaScript off here. So what happens there, if the great thing about MVC, if you have this validation process here, your form will still get some sort of validation. So if people have this turned off and have the that jQuery validation in, that will no longer work, but we still have this process here that will work. So it needs to remember that in some institutions and some places they do not enable JavaScript for certain reasons, so you cannot rely on this jQuery validation. It is best practice to have both, but to have both is always the best of both worlds as well. But just in case I've got the JavaScript disabled, if we have this, let's get rid of this, I don't need that anymore. If we have this in our code, we'll still get validation happening. Okay, so hopefully it's built. let's resize this. Let's have them side by side. Come on, ASP.NET, do your stuff. I really do need a faster machine. Feel free to fast forward. That's what the fast forward button's for. Okay, here we go. We're getting something. Oh, yay! So here we go. Now, so if we do not enter anything in the full name, the code will go in this validation area, server-side validation, and will return us an error message. So let's do that. See, there we go. We can see in the yellow hit, the breakpoint's been hit, and we will get an error message back. So we've just demonstrated server-side validation. Now, if we put this code into play, so let's put that back in. Let's save that. Let's go back. Still haven't got the name back, so let's do a hard refresh. There's Fred. Right, so now, just to be clear, you'll see we do not hit this breakpoint. At least I hope so. Great. See, there we go. We did not hit this breakpoint. Server-side, client-side validation just happened. These libraries here came into play and did the magic for us. A note on these libraries, you do need to put them in this order. So this one has to come first. This one is dependent on this guy being there, and this one is dependent on this guy being there. So just a note on that. They have to be in that order. So there we go, server-side and client validation. Now what happens, let's see what happens quickly if we disable this. Righto, so now if we do a hard refresh, we should, I believe, go in here now. See, we've gone back here into our server-side validation because these libraries, JavaScript turns off, these libraries do no longer come into play, but we still have our server-side here, so all is good. It's a bit slower. Server-side validation is slower than client-side validation, but just in case somebody is using the website that has this JavaScript turned off, it's good to have the best of both worlds. It's very good to have JavaScript, it's very good to have server-side. Your application is then lock-proof, and it's quicker for those who have JavaScript enabled. So So if we quickly turn that back on, go back, hard refresh, we can see we didn't hit that breakpoint there, and that the validation was done on the client. So yeah, pretty cool, eh? Whoops, well, I'm getting too quick with my clicking. So yeah, apology for the speed of my machine. If you please subscribe to my channel, that would be great. If you want to find out more about me, please go to my website there. That'd be fantastic as well. Alright, thanks and see you next time. Bye.